Hey guys, Travis Gillespie. And the last example we looked at, what you did was you graphed a function and used the domains to solve the problem. We're going to look at graphing some more functions, but rather than having the domain, you're going to graph it without a domain. So I've got a skeleton here below of here's your function of x squared plus 1 equals y. And what I've already done is taken this and rewritten it so y is leading this function, and you read it as y equals x squared plus 1. Yes, this is a function, and all I've done is rewritten it for simplicity. So moving on from here, let's go ahead and fill in this chart. And what I have is a skeleton, basically, of this chart. And all I want to do is clean it up, make some columns here. Cool. There we go. Do it here. Cool. So let me change my pen color and we'll get started. So I'm just going to fill in some random values here, and you can use any values you want for the x, but remember I don't have a domain here, so I've got to make up the numbers. I'm going to use some simple numbers just so I get a good idea of what the image or what the shape will be that I graph from the function. So let's see. I have y equals x squared plus 1. So substitute -2 in for the x. You get y equals -2 squared plus 1. And -2 squared is +4 plus 1 is +5. So this equals 5. All right, so the ordered pair here is -2 and +5. Let's look at the next one. Well, the next one says y equals, I'm substituting -1 in for the x, -1 squared, which is 1, plus 1, and that equals 2. So now, the ordered pair is -1, +2. And my next one here, I have y equals 0 squared, which is 0, plus 1. Well, that's going to be 1. So 1, and we do a square here just to show that that's the value. And so now you got, for your ordered pair, 0, and not a -1, but a +1. The next set says, hey, y equals, substitute 1 in for the x, 1 squared is 1, plus 1. I forgot to write a 1 above, so I'll do that. And that equals 2. Now you've got the value 1, comma, 2 for your ordered pair. Finally, you're going to substitute 2 in for x. Say, well, 2 squared is 4, plus 1 is 5. I could probably do a better 5 than that, so I'll try it again. Well, that's not much better, so there we go. Box it up, and now I've got 2, comma 5 for my answer. Cool. So now the next step is to go ahead and graph it. But I'm just going to pull everything off screen except for the ordered pairs. Let's get a graph up here. I'm going to move the graph over here to the side and get my paintbrush ready, get a nice dark purple. Let's start graphing these values. So the first value is -2, move across 1, -1, -2. And now let's move up 5. So 1, 2, 4, and 5. is right about there. Well, there we go. That should be working. Okay, so that's my first value, or my first plot on the graph. So now my next set is -1, 2. So I'm going to go back 1 or across -1 and move up 2. Okay, and now my next value is 0, 1. So that is easy because I'm at 0. All I've got to do is move up 1. Cool. And I'm going to do that a few times just so the purple shows up really good there. And now the next value is 1, 2. So I'm going to move over 1 and up 2. Cool. And now the next one is 2 over 2 and up 5. Oh, that's interesting. It looks like I've got a shape of a U right about here, guys. If you look here, I've got a U-shaped figure. I could draw a line to show it a little bit better. But what you're going to end up learning in the long run is that, hey, this U-shaped figure here is called a parabola. So you've plotted these points to see what the function looks like, and you've got a U-shaped function. But let's see if I can draw a line through this. Um, yeah, I'm going to get a thicker pen just so it shows up. So what you want to see here is I'm just going to see if I can draw a line, and that didn't hit my U shape like I wanted, so there we go. And I'm going to draw it along the other side as well. Cool. And so what you start to see is, hey, I'm going to draw arrows here. And these arrows are telling me that, hey, wherever my values are along this line, they will satisfy the function of y equals x squared plus 1. So, yes, the values along this line solve the functions for, as I said before, y equals x squared plus 1. So it's saying that, hey, there's an infinite set of values. These arrows are saying there are an infinite set of values that will satisfy the function. Neat.